Welcome back, baby dolls. You are the parsley to my tabbouleh. We have crypto's juiciest news today. You know, a lot's been going on. The most breaking news of all news, the wee-woo ambulance siren alarms comes for Jimmy Cramer. Now, Uncle Jimmy Cramer is bearish for the 5th time in a row as Bitcoin hovers 40K. You can see his tweet right here. Another day, another chance to roll out of Bitcoin while the number goes up club tries to keep it at $40,000. Yes, Jimmy Cramer is really, really bearish. By the way, I've been watching him for quite a long time. Years, friends. Like tracking him like closely, always having fun in the memes, especially through 2022. And I'll tell you something. I've never seen him this convicted on a position before. Now, I know there's an inverted yield curve. There's the stock market at these really high highs, this complacency rally. I know all these. But I'm just saying, a rally that comes from a bearish Jim Cramer like this can only be vicious. Only. All right? It can eventually, when eventually stops, like I'm talking, I don't want to say it, I'm talking like Bitcoin 60 to 70K. Now, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying it would be written in the stars if by the end of this year, Bitcoin is like $80,000. But I just got to remind you, part of my dark prophecy is it's possible they give us a Donald Trump win and everybody thinks it's a return to glory. But the market is front running the Donald Trump presidency, which no one wants to admit. So the weak hands who would buy in 2025, they see what Donald Trump did for crypto and the stock market and stuff in 2016. So they buy back in 2024. And that might give us that euphoric push. Maybe. We don't know. We're just trying to always flesh out these scenarios in our minds, just so if anything happens, it feels like it was pre-written. If you're new, welcome. Take a seat over there, friends. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, all. So our goal is not to just be right. We don't care about being right, okay? Our goal is to make money. And to make money, we got to be prepared. Just got to be prepared for both scenarios. That's all right. We're not here to gloat and tell everyone, oh, look at me, look at me. No, we don't care about that. Those people sit on the side. What those people do is they farm your engagement. They farm people for their trading referral links, leverage trading, and unfortunately, all those other things that they get commission and insider deals for. We're not here to participate in that at all. This is the Bitcoin 2016 Mt. Gox Ponzi fractal. And what I've done before, friends, you notice before I had it yellow, okay? What I had it yellow, but what I actually might do is I might make this yellow too and just like actually leave it on so we can see, because right now we are still following to the T. Now, I remember I was watching Blockchain Backer and he basically, what he said was, he said, well, we're like out of sync here. But I don't think so, friends, because back then, if you're looking at the yellow part, let's look at the yellow, just focus on the yellow part. The Bitcoin halvening was around here. You see, so we had the pump. After the Bitcoin halvening, we crashed. Now, for us, our Bitcoin halvening is going to be in April here. I mean, wouldn't it be wild if we pump and they give us a rate cut before the Bitcoin halvening and then we like dump after? That would be the exact same freaking pattern. But then this is going to be the scary part. Why? It's going to be scary because if Bitcoin is like 35 to 40K zone, the fractal says, oh my God, we're going up only for the rest of the year. Okay, if you just look at it. Now, I know this is just crazy. I know following these to the T. But look, man, if this happens, friends, like I'm going to continue as if we do follow the fractal. So let's say that scenario does happen where we have a buy the rumor, sell the news on the Bitcoin halvening dump right here. So let's say we go up, we come down. And this thing just basically says up only for the rest of the year. Now, this is going to be really scary, okay? This is not the full cycle, by the way. I cut it off here, but wouldn't it be wild if we actually did end up here? Now, that would be nuts, especially because if a lot of people got out around 60K and then the next flush up is 120, that's going to be really wild. But you also got to be careful, friends, because what if it stops at 80 here? See how nuts it is? Because the next leg down is back down here, and then alts are down 50 to 60%. So I know it does induce a lot of anxiety. That's why I've been telling you, you got to go super long, super strong as much as you can.
A kiss, a cry, our rights, our wrongs.
We're still going to crank a butt. There are a lot of people who are not believing. They don't believe in altcoins. No one. I'm not seeing the traditional altcoin life-changing videos yet. They're going to be coming, friends. Also, how can you not be bullish when Crapo is bearish for a $550 Ethereum target? Wow, 550 bucks. This is the picture right now. Look at him. He has like this line going down. He goes, we're going to go up and then down to Goblin Town. This is $550. Wow, I mean, the guy is still bearish. So what's happened? Okay, so firstly, we turned him into the bull. Remember, I literally told you, I go, friends, I won't be surprised. Around the Bitcoin ETF launch, Crapo's bullish, and that's the top. That's exactly what happened. Wild, okay? Now, here's the thing. We didn't need to act. I mean, for most of you, if you have most altcoins, okay, if you have trading spot Bitcoin, some of us were acting, okay? I never want to tell you what to do with your portfolio. You got to do that yourself. Remember, go buy bonds, not financial advice. But obviously, scaling out of spot trading Bitcoin around that zone. Now, what's happened is, because the market's turned, he's now confident to be a bear again. But you got to remember, in these bull markets, friends, they're at the tops aren't tops. Like what people think is, they think it's like, okay, it goes up and then it goes down. No. It goes up, goes sideways, it pokes under a low, and then breaks the high by a tick, and everyone gets more euphoric and loud, and then it comes back down, and you still think, oh, it's just ranging before the next move. Okay, that's what a real top is. Not these like, oh, go up and go down stuff. That's why it's very, very difficult. That's why the only thing you can do is have a process of exiting slowly over time. And that's why I always tell you, buy in depression, sell in the euphoria. There was also this news, okay, so the USA government, they filed to sell $130 million of Bitcoin from Silk Road. So that's about 3,250 Bitcoin. Now, there's a lot of people on Twitteroonies people are getting upset because Bitcoin reacted negatively to it. They're going, oh, the FUD, be careful. No. Forget the news, man. It's not about the news, friends. It's just supply and demand. There are people, what happens is, market comes down. Okay, I can actually show you right now on a cute little chart here. So this is it. Actually, let's have a look now on the real Bitcoin chart. You can see it right now, all right? So the market comes down, and look, there are people long here, all right? They're long, and you can't see them, but they're like long inside market. That's what it is, okay? They're long right here. See this? They're long here, okay? They got long. There's people who are here, and now they're offside, and there's people who are long here. So it comes up here, and then this news comes out, and what they do is they just auto exit. That's it, and it just makes things flicker around. So it's not like it's anything in particular happening where it's like worthy of being reported for the news. It's just that you see volatility, people hyper reacting to news. Are they buyers? Are they sellers? You got to remember, they did launch the Bitcoin ETF. I mean, right here, this spot Bitcoin ETF launch. And they've also got some bad news for that too. But remember, we've got to ignore the news. The news is nothing. The narratives of the news mean absolutely nothing at all. Because Grayscale has now sold 100,000 Bitcoin. That's not how much they've directly clicked sell, but they've sent that to Coinbase. So they've sold a lot. They've sold like, I think 40,000 or something. It's an insane amount. I think there's 620,000 in the treasury. Now they've sold about 100,000. Wow, that's a lot, friends. It's $4.4 billion they're dumping on innocent retail. You know, the Trojan horse insiders, friends. I told you. Also, what we saw today, I made many videos on this. Really advise you watch them, friends. You see, Satoshi EVM was revealed to be an insider scam. Now, there is one of the influencers, Lady of Crapo. Now, Lady of Crapo, that's right, it is a scammer. It is known in the industry for buying a lot of fake followers, just to let you guys know, because, look, these people, can't even call them people, this scum, this loser, cockroach gut, piece of trash, they just go and block everybody, and they keep reeling in unsuspecting victims. And I'm going to go through, there's going to be another expose video here and there, just to show you how they work. So don't worry about Lady of Crapo, because it is always going to be a thieving scammer. It's done many grifts. It is a pathological liar. Pathological. Like, you just be like, oh, you should be a politician, really, at this point, okay? So that's what's happening in this bull market. Now, when you're looking at Lady of Crapo and all these other people, right, you're wondering something to your mind. You're wondering, wait a minute, weren't you not here in the bear market when you said you were buying all the coins and now they should be on side? Why are you grifting? Well, now you know why, friends, because they're full of crap. They're not doing that at all. They're lying. They don't have the balls to do any of these things. They don't have the skills to do if you didn't paper hand sell your portfolio at the bottom of the bear and you're still here, you have more skill than them. You are better equipped as an investor. Their skill set is not investing. They're snake oil salesmen. That's what they are. They're all snakes. They all see a group of people. They don't see you and me. They don't see friends. They don't see faces. They don't see families. They don't see people with emotions and hearts, grandparents and grandmas. They don't see anything like that. Okay. They see something that can be exploited. Okay. That's what they think about. They think of us like rats. Well, they're the rats. So unfortunately, this is part of the free open things. If we want the high returns, friends, there has to be this part of risk that's associated with it in terms of like there's scammers everywhere. This type of volatility and uncertainty, this is what we have to accept. If it was fully regulated and these influences, if they were cast aside and there'd be more license and regulation, the returns would be much, much, much less. So you got to take it as it comes, right? Luckily, I have a megaphone. I'm here spreading the good word, trying to help you and your friends and family, okay? Make sure you like, subscribe. Also, part of the dirty industry, okay, there was a bridge, Orbit Bridge. There was a hack for $81.5 million. What happened? Well, it turns out it was an ex-employee. So that's the unfortunate reality with these hacks and exploits. It's usually someone on the inside. They know the code. They know something that can be exploited. That's the unfortunate reality when it comes to this industry, friends. There is trust at some places, even when you think there's not. Now, how do you avoid these? Well, usually, if you are, just as a like basic principle, if you are giving coins away, there's risk. Okay. For example, with Hex though, Hex is native. That's why I say it's native trustless yield. That's why it's quote unquote safe. That's why it's safe. That's why people give it to your friends and family. That's why there's long-term staking and stuff in that. When it comes to these bridges, for people to move across the bridge, there's liquidity that has to be provided as the service, and they take people's money and they might give you a yield. But this is really, really risky because it's basically you've provided items at a supermarket. You are on the supermarket shelf. So anybody could come and just steal. You know, someone comes, brings a water pistol. They say, hey, give me all your orange juice. They hand over the orange juice. What can you do, friends? You don't want to get squirted in the face. So that's the risk when it comes to these. And unfortunately, if you're just sitting there all day, thieves come by and they're like, hey, how can I get access to part of this money in the pool? So that's why yield farming, all these things, they carry risk. Hopefully, you stick to the basics. Like, for example, on PulseX, the code and everything's pretty much been tried and tested. Same as like Uniswap, because of it's just basically there's been a honeypot there for like, you know, billions and billions and billions of dollars for years now. So if it was any exploit to be done, I mean, even Vitalik, 4,000 IQ alien, triple checked the code, right? Triple checked Uniswap code just to make sure he couldn't crack it and stuff. So that's how kind of safe these are. But unfortunately, everyone always goes to the new upgraded things, and that's where more risk comes. Now, I saw this as well. This was interesting. The UK government, now they're talking about the digital British pound. And I know there was recently Donald Trump came out and he said, you know what? I'm not going to put the CBDC. I spoke to Vivek, blah, blah, blah. But look, man, I know you got to remember, friends. Look, I know your bags are going to love Donald Trump to win in the presidency. I'm just letting you know they're all politicians. They're all politicians and they all say stuff. Now, it doesn't mean the politicians are evil themselves. I'm telling you, they're just one person. Everyone can be manipulated. Everybody can be given a deal. Everyone can have their relationships kind of twisted and turned. Everyone. There's bigger power at play here. But it really doesn't really affect us at the end of the day. The way I see it, that's just part of the Donald Trump camp in terms of how do I win more votes to make sure I win. So I'm not seeing it as anything political. I don't really care about these politics. I'm just letting you know, okay, this probably increases the probability of him winning because he's trying to cater to a lot of the crypto industry. You know, he's going to get 5% of the population. He's like, yeah, of course. That thing's bad, right? So they're talking sound bites, and that's all you need to know. And when all else fails, baby dolls, we go back to the charts. This is the weekly super trend. You can see we are actually touching right with consent in a non-sexual way. We're almost actually about to touch the 21 EMA on the weekly. Where do we go from here? Of course, friends, no one really knows. But you'd kind of think, do you see back here how we just ranged? This was in 2023. Markets like to kind of repeat themselves in their behavior. So you never know, man. We might just do something like this. Maybe Jim Cramer's turbo bearish. Maybe we come back up and then we get him bullish right before the Bitcoin halving. And then we dump down. This is the vertical line is the Bitcoin halving. And then we kind of got to figure it out from here. Now, this is see where it is right now. This part is the critical zone because you have blockchain backer and others thinking like this. And then you have everyone else thinking, okay, 4-year cycle continues. So what's it going to be? I mean, that's the scary part. I guess we're just going to have to wait until that part gets there. For now, though, you can't deny altcoins still look like they're gearing up. They're just waiting for Bitcoin to get a bit more confirmation. And remember, the altcoins rally on this Bitcoin ranging. So altcoins, you got to think of them as like, there's a slingshot and they're like a really, really big, powerful slingshot. But everybody in them is so scared that they need a lot of confirmation. So that's how you got to think about it. You think about, there's the pain you have to sit through to be able to get the reward at the end of the day. There's the rain you have to sit through to see the rainbow. Now, the rain you have to sit through is Bitcoin to just calm down. You always hear every content creator, everybody talking like that. What does calm down mean? It means, look, find the top, find the bottom, and just get out of that bottom. That's it. Just don't go to zero. So that's why if we might find on the leg up like this, now everyone's confident. Oh, sweet, this is kind of the range. And it's funny, you don't have much faith in that range holding the whole way, do you? And I never either. But it's not about you and me. It's about the retailers on the sidelines. It's about the emotional money. It's about the non-believers who come in to say they are believers now. This is the confirmation they need because now they're saying, oh, the Fed's going to cut rates and you are at the top. It's the top of a green candle. Okay, so that's what we're looking at, man. If you change it to a monthly candle, you get to see this, friends. See, this is the first red monthly candle. Now, if we get big old season off this red monthly candle, you just got to be super careful. This is complacency because I just want to say something, right? Look at the top, the very end of the previous bull market. April 2021 was Coinbase IPO here for Bitcoin, and that was the big final month for altcoins. They were rallying in May, but by the end of May, they were finished. So they're only in the 2 weeks of May. Okay, isn't this interesting? So you had lots of green candles, and then when you had the red candle, this was the most explosive move for the dog coins. I think up here, like Shiba Inu got listed, etc. I'm not sure if this got the date correctly, but you get to see a lot of the wacky stuff happen up here. All right, so that's actually, isn't it fascinating to know? That's the Bitcoin. Now we're starting to see when Bitcoin slows down, don't just use a monthly candle, you got to use weeklies as well. But you get to see the psychology of everyone. Now that Bitcoin's stopped up here, okay, now it's actually like a complacency, euphoria type of mood. Everyone's like, okay, sweet, you finally stopped. This is the new pricing for the industry. Thank you very much. Let's go. I think in the future though, with more algorithms, bots, hedge funds playing in the future, when there's less money in crypto, less returns, that's right, there's going to be more hands in here. There's going to be more big money trying to scalp off everybody. You're going to see things more correlated, and there's going to be less deviations than what we are now. What we're seeing is basically this edge is going to diminish over time. Where Bitcoin goes up, it stops, and then everything slingshots, okay? And that's actually, people are getting more and more used to that. That's as you can see them already buying poopy coins right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, and I'll catch you soon.